For all things outdoors, listen to the father of two, the Jesus-loving TV show hosting hairy, true-blood American redneck, Ben Cole.
And listen to the outdoor filming, chef cooking, chocolate milk drinking, John Weissmuller. And we are
Rooted Podcast. Hey guys, thanks for tuning in for another edition of Rooted Podcast. Today, we've kind of got a loaded episode for you. We're going to talk about our favorite ways to prepare wild turkey. We're going to talk about late season turkey hunting tactics. Okay, so everyone knows that late season's coming, and it's here, and you can still go out and get them. You just got to know what to do. We're going to talk about some agricultural things. Ben's going to dive into that. He's the ag man, and then we're even going to talk a little bit about some bass fishing, and maybe even some fly fishing will get brought up. You just never know around here, right, Ben?
You never know what we're going to get into around here. We like it all. We like to be doing anything out in God's creation, anything and everything that's legal to do, hunting, fishing, trapping, all of it. As long as there's a legal season, we are all for it. Sign me up.
And you know what else we're all for is a good meal. Let's dive into the best ways that we have found to cook wild turkey. Ben, I'll let you go first because I don't want to spoil it. I'm just going to let you get into your – listen, I've had I've had this recipe before, so Ben, please share the knowledge.
Well, I will dive right in. So the way that I love to cook wild turkey is you're going to take that big old chunk of meat, the breast meat, and you're going to slice it in half, make it thinner, because you don't want a big old slab. You want a nice, decent-sized piece. And then what you're going to do is take and cut it up into chunks. Little chunks, maybe 1x1s or 2x2s, whatever, and I mean by inches on that. And you're going to want to get a big old bowl full of buttermilk. Buttermilk is the ticket when it comes to letting this meat soak for a little while. And what you're going to want to do is, as you cut them up into these chunks, you want to toss them into the buttermilk. And when you get all of them in there, you want to let it sit for 30, 45 minutes. And then what you want to do is crack a couple eggs, mix them up real good, take them straight from the buttermilk to the egg bath. Now listen, here's a little sneak peek, a little secret from how I cook them a little bit differently than everybody else. Catfish batter. That is the ticket. It gets, I don't know what it is about it, but that stuff is unbelievable. When you throw that thing in the deep fryer, it's just crunchy and full of flavor. It's kind of got a little bit of kick to you. Whew. That's what I'm talking about. I love it when there's a little bit of spice in there. So once you do all these other steps, you take them out of the egg batter, or out of the egg bath, if you will, and then put them into the catfish batter. Mix them up real good. You can put them in a bag or whatever, but I really enjoy digging in, getting dirty with it, mixing it all up by hand, and then just putting it on a pan and taking it right outside to the deep fryer. Let them turn golden brown, and you're ready to eat. Let me tell you something, John. Nobody on my wife's side of the family had ever tried wild game or anything like that until I came along, and I said, now listen, if you're going to try it, you need to start with wild turkey because it is simply the best way to start. Now, all of it's good. All wild game that God gave us to hunt and feed ourselves is delicious. But the best way to start is on a wild turkey because it's just like eating chicken nuggets that you get from anywhere, except better because we are the original OG organic folks right here because God created these critters. We harvest them, we eat them. We are organic. I can't even talk. It's past my bedtime, John. But yeah, man, so that is my favorite way to prepare turkey for anybody and everybody to try, and just one of my favorite ways to eat it anyway.
Awesome. Because now listen, another little tidbit there, just a little bit that you could add. There's this tool out there in the world. It's called a jacarder, and you're like, man, that's a real fancy word. It's just a tool that stabs whatever you decide to stab a bunch. It just has a bunch of blades, and they're all cut this way and then the other way, and so whatever you could use forks, but I'm me, so I have something called a jacarta.
Water?
Of course I do. So yeah, exactly. So this old tool, man, what it does is it cuts and tears fibers. Okay, so whether you're cooking a ribeye, right, or you're making turkey nuggets, you jacarta, aka stab this meat a bunch, and it just tenderizes it and really breaks the muscle down. Okay, so another thing it does, since it pokes all the holes in it, whenever you soak it in that buttermilk, it goes all the way through the nugget. You see what I'm saying?
Ooh.
And it soaks it.
Mm.
Okay, and then now another little thing. Now listen, you use the catfish batter, which is amazing, and I've had it. You could also season the buttermilk and season the eggs, and just for a little more, if you wanted to. You don't need to at all, but if you do with the jacarta method, all the seasoning soaks in anyway. But I'll tell people this too. So I absolutely love turkey nuggets. That's like the number one way for me and everybody. But something else that's a little different, and this works with the legs, this or thighs. This works with the breast. You can also, if you're just a busy man or woman, right, and you got kids, and or you just got just a busy life, whatever the situation. Nothing beats a crock pot meal, man. You could throw that thing in there, fill it with chicken broth, chicken stock, whatever. You could put whatever you like in it. I like onions, maybe some carrots in there. I season it up how I like it. I use some Montreal chicken seasoning, some Cajun, salt, pepper, some seasoned salt, whatever you like, and then some garlic. And buddy, dude, I just freaking turn that thing on low and walk away. You don't even have to worry about it. Just let that thing cook for hours and hours and hours, and then I shred it, and then I make tacos out of that, or burritos, or whatever you want. Then of course, you can add lettuce and cheese and whatever your favorite taco toppings are, just like any other taco. And so that's another simple yet effective way to cook your wild turkey that everybody seems to enjoy, because just like you said, especially getting new people into it, if you cut a backstrap off of a deer and just grill it, it's like, hey man, this is pretty gamey. But if you take that turkey breast, prepare it properly, what I mean by that is wash it, get all the silver skin off of it, get all the funky looking parts off, and if you just make tacos or nuggets, that's just a normal thing for people that, people eat tacos and nuggets every day. So it's a very good introductory into the wild game eatery of the world, as I'd like to say. So you really can't go wrong with either option, honestly.
Well, I'm going to have to get me one of those jacutis. Send me a link. I need a jacuti chopper. That's what I'm going to start calling it, John, is a jacuti chopper.
Hey, look here now. Hey, listen, we need one of them to sponsor us so we could put a Rooted logo on that sucker.
Yeah.
I could just.
Dude, we'll go.
Oh, look, but
man.
hey, in all seriousness though, man, what's up?
We'll
What's
go
up?
jacuti chopping and everything.
Oh, hey, listen, you laugh, but I've got my wife on that, dude. She freaking jacartas everything. Chicken tenders, it don't matter. Fish,
jacarta.
I'm just joking.
jacarta,
but man,
I was calling it jacuti.
Yeah. I know you would. I thought you was just joking.
No, I was being serious.
That's hilarious. Hey, listen, you never can tell when Ben Cole's being serious or not.
Nope, never will be able to. That's the fun part.
I hear you.
Yeah.
Hey, listen, it keeps life on the edge. You know what I mean?
Absolutely keeps life on the edge, man. Because, hey, what's fun about everybody knowing your every step and next move, man? There's nothing better than just being that guy that, cracking jokes or whatever, can turn it off and be serious in 1 second. I mean, just how I like to roll, man. And now we're talking about
Nothing
food,
wrong
and
with
I'm
that.
starving. So dinner's already worn off. It's we're recording this at close to midnight here, and yeah, we sometimes you got to do that kind of stuff. But man, diving on in to late season turkeys. Let's get into that. And
Yes.
one of my experiences here of late, and by the way, I saw poults today for the first time this year. And one little fun fact that
Nice.
folks may not know is that the incubation period of a wild turkey egg is 28 days. So those little poults were nested around, I don't know, the 1st of April, something like that. First week of April, sometime around there. So you got to think about that. Our season didn't open until mid-April. So these birds are already breeding, already laying eggs before our season even opened. And now, guess what? We have 3 weeks of season left, and they are dead silent almost. They ain't gobbling worth a crap.
Nope. And that's the catch-22 of it all.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, TWRA has pushed the season back because of that very reason. They and we can dive into this a little bit. I mean, COVID happened. More turkey hunters came on the scene because everyone was freaking out and didn't know where they were going to get their food from. Shocker. We know we've been doing it forever. Anyway, so more hunters came, more turkeys died, and then the next year less turkey. And everybody was thinking that the turkey population is just plummeting and it's down. And I'm not saying that in some areas it's not down. I'm sure it is. Okay. But this is my theory. And listen, I'm just a good old boy turkey hunter. I'm not a biologist. Okay. I'm not some big time scientist. This is just me and my little old turkey hunting brain. But okay, if you have all these turkeys and then you shoot males, because you can only shoot males. Okay. So if more people go in and shoot males, then the next year there's less males, but the same amount of females. Okay, they're still growing. Okay, so just think about that. Now, let's say that you are at a bar, for instance. Okay, and there's one dude and 3 ladies. How loud does that dude have to be? Not loud at all. He don't have to do much. There's 3 women and 1 dude. If it was the other way around, buddy, them guys would be fighting, bickering. They'd be loud. You wouldn't know what to do. It's the same deal here. Like, everyone was like, man, they're just not gobbling. Well, yeah. Why would they? They don't have any more. Like, what's the point? And now it's kind of corrected itself now, where I've heard more gobbling in the past few seasons here than I did 4 years ago. But this is the same thing now. Now that the season's pushed back, it's like all the hens are bred. A lot of dudes have died, right? Because it's just the truth. So now there's less competition. And they're already bred. It's like, why would they gobble? So now we have to figure out what to do if they're not going to talk to us. And to me, that's when you quote unquote deer hunt them, right? This is when the chufa field, the clover field, or some sort of strut zone, or the best part, if you could put eyes on them and go, hey, they're in this field or they're on this ridge every day, then just sit there,
Well, the thing is, too, is what you're talking about is now in this late season, you're diving into more of your scouting abilities and being out there, being in with them and knowing, okay, I have physically seen them in this field at this time. They were on this ridge yesterday. All right, cool. So now you're taking notes, writing down everywhere you've seen them, their travel patterns, just like you scout a whitetail. And they're still gobbling a little bit on the roost. roof. Can't even talk on the
Yes, a
roof.
little.
But that's enough to let you know kind of where they are in a general vicinity of their location. Because if they gobble one or two times and then shut up, well, guess what? That's it. That's all you got for the day.
Yeah.
So, like you're saying, man, go in, go scout, walk those ridges, walk the ridges, and look for scratching. They're going to be in the woods, on a field, somewhere there's food, every point of the day. They're going to find food, and that's what they're doing while they're on the ground. They're either eating, breeding, or laying eggs. And then they sleep in the tree. So, one of those few things is, what you got to think about. So, I mean, this time of year, you need to look more for the feeding side because they're not breeding. And I mean, not really. There may be a few. I saw today at the lodge, I saw 9 longbeards and 1 hen, and I felt bad for that old hen. I did, boy. Ooh.
Oh, buddy, that's a bad day for her.
I felt bad for her.
I mean,
Good night of living. But it's probably going to end up in a brawl. All them longbeards going to fight each other, just beat the fire out of each other, which I wish I could have watched that. That would have been very entertaining. But, she must be the last breeding hen that has yet to be bred. I don't know, but they were all huddled up around her when I pulled up. I was like, huh. Well, heck, I could have killed a turkey today if I was down here to do that. Man, we've gotten so much rain, which thankfully it's great to have the rain on the corn crops and all that. But we'll talk more about that in a minute. But we, man, I can't get in the fields right now. I can't do nothing. So today I went down and checked all the mineral sites and, just making sure everything is as it should be. And, just getting a plan ready to go forward. And like I said, we'll talk more about that in a minute. But it was neat to see them in that cornfield that I just planted. So here's another little surprise for you if you don't know this already, but a fresh plowed field is dynamite for turkeys. And I found that out through planting. I mean, man, I started planting corn 2 weeks ago and 3 weeks ago. Yeah, 3 weeks ago. And I went in and I sprayed everything first. And then I went back and tilled some, got the fields ready. And the next day, oh my gosh, there were birds everywhere in every one of the fields that I tilled. Every single one of them that had fresh plowed soil was loaded with turkeys. It was unbelievable. Absolutely unbelievable. And the only thing I can think is, i.e. food, once again. When you turn the soil like that, you're pushing up all that seed that's in the seed bank within the soil. So, and whatever crop you had, if you planted wheat and you sprayed it or whatever, there's a ton of food for them there. So, I think the best tip for hunting late season turkeys is food source. That's my biggest tip on that is food source. I mean, obviously scouting, but scouting plays into that. You got to already have this preconceived notion that these birds are going to feed. As soon as their feet touch the ground from the roost, they're going to start eating. And they're going to eat all day. And with this cicada hatch we got coming, hey, we may be just all right on feed. So apparently it's supposed to be super bad. So I'm just going to drive around and plow them all into the soil because I heard that they're real good for nitrogen. So might as well disc them up.
Yeah.
I mean, hey.
Why not? I mean, why not, buddy?
Put them back where they came from, right in the soil.
Yeah, man.
Yes, sir.
And man, on the late season turkey hunting, it's like, I'm not saying that you can't find one that's willing to play the game, but they are way few and far between. And man, you're just better off hunting food and hunting the highways that you know that they travel from or to, and that's kind of your best bet, I think.
Well,
and to me, Also, I'm not really a decoy guy to begin with. I've killed them over them, and I've had them run away. But for me, this time of year, I would stay away from the decoys myself.
Well, here's my point on decoys. You know, when you have clients in, when you're a guide, and you're trying to give them the absolute best heart pounding experience you possibly can. You know, do I use
Oh yeah,
decoys all the time? No, I don't want to carry them all the time. And I'd much rather hunt them in the woods and get them to slip up next to me and shoot them at 2 steps. That's awesome. But
oh yeah.
when the decoys work correctly and those clients
Oh, it's
see
awesome.
those turkeys come running across the field and then blow up 10 yards in front of you and start simultaneously walking together, that is what gets you return customers because they have experienced something, and that's what you're selling is the experience. You know, because you can kill a bird all day,
For sure.
whatever. You can kill whatever, or you can not kill whatever. The point is you're selling an experience, and that starts with the actual lodge where you're staying, the food. I mean, it's all part of an experience, and that's what you're selling.
Mm-hmm.
You know, so for me, decoys work good when you need them, especially in a big field. If you're in a big field, it's a lot easier to get them closer with a Jake and a hen decoy because they don't like that Jake being next to that hen, and they're going to come fight almost every single time.
Yeah,
So
that is correct.
so for me, it's just more about client customer experience. That is one of the main
Yeah.
reasons why I use decoys, especially earlier on in the season. Now, right now, no, I'm out. I'm not using them. I'm just going to run and gun, and if I have to, I'll step back in the woods a couple hundred yards and get them to come into the woods because and here's another tip too. If you've got a hot bird, right, that's not wanting to play the game, but he is. He's kind of on the edge of wanting to come to you and not wanting to come to you. If you've got somebody with you that's either you're calling, if let's just say this for example, you're calling for somebody else shooting. That bird's hung up at about 150 yards, whatever, in a field or woods or wherever. The dude that's calling needs to get up and walk away and call as they walk away. Because then that Tom thinks, oh no, she's leaving. Let me go investigate this.
Bye-bye.
And then guess what? Walks right up to the boy that's got the gun. And you're 100 yards away. Oh, right, no watermelon. Didn't even know he was there. What? Check off the list, baby.
That's it, buddy. Hey, you just never know now. And listen, if you're by yourself, you can kind of do that, especially really only with a mouth call, kind of, as far as not being seen as much and kind of being ready. You can kind of turn whatever way and also use your hand and kind of direct it. Now, obviously, it's not as good as someone walking away, but if you're by yourself, you can kind of get the same effect. Just bring the calling down, real nice and easy. Talk to that turkey like, "Hey, buddy, I'm just a lonely old lady.
Hey, baby.
Come on and see
I'm a
me."
little old hen just hanging out
Yeah.
here in the oak trees.
What you doing on this Tuesday morning at 7:45? Come on, you ain't busy. Come on
scratching
over.
for acorns.
Come on, buddy.
Yeah. And then
And then blam,
and then use some
got it.
directional calling like you're talking about. You know, bring the tone down, super
Yeah.
soft, and then, like you said, use your hand to control which way that sound is coming from, and that can be a
Yep.
game changer too, man. I mean, it really can be. And if that's not a game changer, and he starts walking away, get up, go around, and I'm not talking close go around. I'm talking long way around. Get in front of him and sit down.
Yep. Cut him off.
Cut him off, sit down,
Yep.
and continue on doing what you're doing originally. And see what happens. And you know, the closer those birds get, sometimes it's better to shut up and stop calling. Just stop calling, especially in the woods. Because if you're hunting terrain like we're hunting, hills, mountains, ridges, all that. So if you're trying to call a bird up or down, because me and Ryan did this on day 2 of the opener. So these birds were gobbling up on top, right? And we were in the bottom. So we, like I said on the last episode we did about this, is, you know, we made our way up. But the key to that was they got within 50 yards and I shut up. Just quit calling all together. And then guess what? They get real curious, like, hey, where's this old girl at? And walk right into range. I mean, you know, they had no idea we were in the world, because where they were and where we were, they couldn't see us and we couldn't see them until they were in range to kill them. And that's how hunting mountain birds works a lot of times. So, and birds in the timber, man. And you know, you can apply these tactics just about anywhere, and you're going to have some kind of success. But, you know, I don't care what anybody says. It's hard to kill a turkey that don't gobble. It is almost impossible unless you sit on a field all day long and don't move, or wherever you sit somewhere all day long. That's the only, I mean, man, if a bird ain't gobbling, you don't know where they are. It's a guessing game. Total toss up.
Which is why, which is why I plant chufa.
Mm-hmm.
It just helps, man. It just helps. Both of my brother's birds that came out of that chufa field did not gobble. And now, you know, I mean, with the help of obviously the chufa and the wise eye cameras, and you know, me seeing them over and over, you know, I had a pretty good idea. But you know, every other bird, like my birds, Erica's birds, poor little Richie's birds have all come in there and just absolutely hammered. Yeah, dude. Listen, Richie got plumb spoiled, man. That both his first 2 turkeys ever in his life, the birds gobbled on the limb, hit the ground, gobble, 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 got in front of us, gobble, strutted, boom, shot him. And I'm like, dude, I promise you, you don't know how cool that just was.
Yeah.
Like, you have no idea, man.
That's
how awesome that just was.
That's what I told the guys that were hunting with me on the opener. I said, guys, you don't realize how special this is. This does not always happen like this. And it was their first birds. So
yeah, hardly ever.
Dude, that's the cool thing about this season in particular. We have gotten 5 guys on their very first turkeys this year. And man, that's just that's awesome. Special within itself, you know, is when you can get that happening, get those guys in there, get them hooked on turkey hunting, and man, the rest is history. You know, they love it now, and they want to come back to the ranch every year. So that's what it's about, man. It's about more than selling a hunt too. You know, it's about building relationships and building friendships, you know, that'll last for the rest of your life, man. That is the ultimate goal. All right. So all you folks out there listening, I got a kind of a bone to pick with people. Stop measuring your success by the size of deer you kill and how many deer you kill a season. It's not about that. It's about being in God's creation with your brothers. That's what it's about. Kill or no kill. The buck is the bonus. That is just the extra. That's the candle on top of the cake. To me, you know, I mean, that right there. Yeah. I mean, man, the thing of it is, you know, it doesn't matter if it's a 190-inch deer or a 100-inch deer. If it's a mature deer, you win. You won. You have harvested a.
That's why I love turkey.
Yeah. And I'm the same way about turkeys, man. You know, it don't matter how many turkeys you've killed in your life. Guess what? It's about being out in the woods together and eating what you kill. That is what it's about, man. And I can't preach that enough. You know, I mean, man, how many times have me and you been out in the woods filming? Ain't killed nothing, ain't seen nothing. and we are having the time
months, dude.
of our lives.
Oh yeah, it's always fun, dude. I mean, listen, me and Ben have sat out there for literally this is not no like 2 months in a row,
Mhm.
like maybe a day or two in between we didn't go, but I mean hardly.
Yeah.
And I mean didn't kill a single deer.
Yep. Nothing.
Hardly ever seen one, let alone kill one.
But you know what?
And then the old light switch turns on and bang, it's on, baby.
Yeah.
And we're ready, you
Yeah,
know?
but the moral of the story is
Anyway.
that me and you had a ball the whole entire time.
Absolutely, dude. It's always a great time, man. It's like
always a great time.
it's always fun.
Mm-hmm. It sure is, man. And
you are never in there to kill their like. Yes, I do. Did we want to kill the big deer? Of course.
Yeah, everybody does.
But it's like, listen, if that's all you're going there for, you are missing the point, my friend. You are missing the point.
Yep.
It is not about putting a deer head on the wall. This is cool, but I could care less. Like it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
You know, it just doesn't matter to me. So, you know.
Well,
anyway,
the moral of
I'm right there with
story
you.
on that is, John, is that I have forged better friendships out of the woods and the duck blinds than I have any other place in my life. Ever.
Mm-hmm.
And that goes beyond just hunting. That's everyday life, man.
Oh my God! Yeah.
I mean,
dude. Oh my goodness! I've gotten some of the best life advice from all those dudes in the duck blind and everywhere else. Anything from dude, anything from business to hunting advice to us just having talks about kids and marriage and Jesus and just, everything, dude. Any advice that you could think of, man. It is given out to those who ask.
Yeah, man, absolutely is, and I think that's a great place to do it. But as a little segue here, let's dive into some farming. It's that time of the conversation, so I just had to get that off my chest, John. It's been bothering me for a while. I was on reading a forum the other day, and this kid shot a deer, and everybody was beating him up like, man, that's a small deer, you should have let him walk. And I was like, what are we doing here? That bro just shot.
Yeah, it's terrible.
Dude's a kid, man. Let him kill a deer. It's fine. Kids get a pass, man, every day of the week. Every day. If they ain't killed it,
yeah, man. And even if you're a grown man and you got 3 days out of the whole year to hunt because you got responsibilities and life happens, and it's like I only have 2 days to hunt. Hey, man, I
go kill a deer.
I get it, dude.
Go kill
I
a
get
deer.
It.
Just go enjoy doing what you love to do.
Exactly. It's like just go have fun, being God's creation, and rock on. But anyway, I know we're going off on a tangent, but hey, listen, we get fired up sometimes. You know what I'm saying?
We do get fired up sometimes, but back to the farming stuff. So one thing that we have done to really make a better habitat for our wild turkey and the deer is we have implemented a strategic rotation plan for our crops. So we do corn and soybeans. 1 year we do heavy corn, 1 year we do heavy soybeans, and that is because the soybeans replenish nitrogen back in the soil, and the corn strips all the nutrients out of the soil. So that's a really good rotation. So you're actually replenishing nutrients back into the soil, number one. Number two, the soybeans are phenomenal for pregnant does, milking does that are feeding fawns, or lactating. That's the better word for it. Lactating does that have fawns on the ground. So by putting these big ag food sources into play on the ranch, now granted, we do not harvest any of it. It's all for the deer and for the turkeys. And the way we've got it broken up is you have your large ag, corn, soybeans, and then you have your subplots, which are more your specialty crops like the turnips, the peas, the clover, the radishes, all that stuff. And that is how you not only hold deer, that's one of the ways to hold deer. You got to have really good bedding, and you really need a good water source. And we have all of those. We have everything on that ranch for the bedding, the food, and the water source. And that place has a spring that flows 2,000 gallons a minute year round, and it's ice cold even in August when it's 150 million degrees outside. It is still cool. It's a good, cool place to go lay in for a couple hours in between. You get done running the tractor for a minute, you just go slip off in there for a minute. Boy, I'm telling you what, it'll cool you jets on down. And that's what it takes, man, is getting out and putting in the work. And like I've said before, you don't have to have the nicest equipment. You don't have to have the best of the best. Man, I have planted, there ain't no telling how many acres of corn with a 2-row Alice Chambliss planter. Old conventional mechanical planter. It has no electronics. It does nothing but simply put the seed in the ground. That is all. It puts it in there and closes it up behind it.
Yeah.
It's just a chain drive. That's all it is. It's simple. It was a few $100.
Yeah, I hear you.
It works.
And look, dude, you could also just do it. I mean, now listen, me and Ben have done it by hand spreading. That I do not recommend. But listen, I have done some good food plots with just a good metal rake, and not big. I'm not talking an acre, but you don't need an acre.
Plots.
Like if especially, dude, in the woods, kill plots that are in the woods.
Money.
In my experience, are just killer, dude. Like, just plant some clover, turnips, whatever, some sort of brassica, even just something, just something. Even buy some of that throw and grow stuff. I don't even know if it's worth a darn, but just buy it, whatever. All you need is a rake and that, and boom, you got a food plot. It doesn't need to be this big, thing, and also, dude, you can rent one of them tiny tillers for like next to nothing. Just go out there and till you up a little thing. Like it doesn't have to be this, oh my gosh, I need the biggest, baddest, Kubota tractor, and I mean those are nice and those make it easier. I mean, I like my tractors. I mean, I use them. They're very awesome. But I've also had a rake and some seed. I've been there. There's nothing wrong with that. So my point is, like, just make it and just do a little bit of research. All it takes is a Google search. When do I need to plant, clover, crimson clover in, East Tennessee? You just type it in. It craps out a map for you. And as long as you're not colorblind and you can read, odds are you'll be able to figure it out. And there you go. Like, it doesn't need to be this big, huge process. I mean, obviously, if you have 1,000 acres, it's a bit different. But but that's a whole separate ball game. But my point is, everybody can do it. It does not need to be this big, drawn out process. Like just plant something for the daggum deer and put out your minerals and your proteins and just be happy about it.
Yeah, well, that's the thing, man. It may be a big production where we're at, but I'm telling you right now, I've got a couple places that you ain't getting that tractor in. I'm just telling you right now. It ain't going up that mountain in that steep of terrain. So guess what? Old BC's going to break out that hard-tooth metal rake, and I'm going to rake me out a little spot, and I'm going to load her down with clover, because guess what? Clover does exceptionally well in shaded areas. So that is one of the go-to crops. And if you get a good stand, you don't have to worry about planting it every single year. It's going to live.
All you got to do is mow it, right?
You got to bush hog it 3 times a year or cut it with a lawnmower, whatever. 3 times a year. That's it. That's all you got to do.
Weed whack.
Buddy, I have cut food plots with a ride on top lawn tractor more than once. And dude, brother, I'm telling you, you would be flabbergasted if you knew all the different ways that I tried to plant food plots in the past. I mean, oh my gosh, man. it was ridiculous.
Dude.
Ridiculous.
Oh, listen, man. I got a story for y'all. I was on this lease, and all I wanted was a food plot, man. I saw, you grow up, you watch the videos, everyone's got one. And I was like, dude, I want a food plot. And where I wanted it, I mean, you couldn't get anything but a four wheeler back there. And I was too poor to afford any attachments on the four wheeler. So what I used the four wheeler for was to get the pickaxes and the rakes and the shovels out there. And I somehow convinced all my buddies from high school and a guy from work to go. I stopped and got them donuts and stuff on the way in. And, buddy, it was every bit of 97 degrees, hot, sun. And this one old boy, he was eating them glazed donuts, son, on the way out there. It's about an hour drive. He just I mean, I said, hey, old boy, I don't know if you know this, but it's about 97 degrees out here later on today. You may want to slow down on the chalky milk and the glazed donut. Now, listen, I had me a bottle of chocolate milk. I'm going to have that. My stomach's fine. I drink chocolate milk every day.
A gallon a day.
Oh, buddy, I blew it up in there. But, hey, that's not the here nor there. But listen, this old boy, he's like, I'm fine, man. I'm fine. I'm like, okay, whatever, dude. So anyway, we get out there, and they're not very big food plots. I'm talking like 10 yards by 10 yards. And I ended up building two of them, me and all my buddies with the pickaxes and the rake. And they come out good, actually, and had plenty of deer in there.
Yeah.
Anyway, this old boy, it got about one, and he said, boys, I don't feel so good. I said, I bet you don't. You just had 12 glazed donuts and 2 gallons of chocolate milk. It's 97 degrees. Yeah. And, buddy, he went up there and upchucked everywhere. He threw up everywhere. And I said, well, I bet you feel better now. He goes, and you know what he said? He goes, you got another donut?
Oh, so, man, that's
anyway,
awesome.
Listen, man, all you got to do is just go get you a couple buddies, just buy a couple dozen donuts and rock on with it, man. That's all you need.
Donuts are the way. You come at me with a case of glazed donuts or chocolate covered donuts, I'll do a lot for chocolate covered donuts now. I love me some chocolate covered donuts. In fact, I walked into my mother and father-in-law's house the other day, and there was a box from Dunkin', and I was like, I popped the lid on that, and there's 2 chocolate covered donuts, and I was like, I'm going to have one right now, and I'm going to let people mill around for a minute, and if I go back and it's still there, I guarantee you it's going to be inhaled.
Yeah.
And that's exactly what happened.
That's right. Good. Yeah. Hey, listen, if you are around me or Ben, I will give that food an honest chance to get eaten. But I'm coming back for it. That's a fact.
Yeah. Hey, listen, we have the policy, if you leave our place hungry, that's your own fault. So we live by that. So if we're hungry, we're going to eat. So that's just kind of how we roll there. But anyway, well, that's all I've got for this episode. I think we've covered quite a bit here. So, folks, thanks once again.
I got.
Oh, you got one more.
Hold on, Ben. Hold on. Listen. One more thing I love to do this time of year. Bass fishing.
Ooh, boys, I was about to cut us off too soon. I forgot about the fishing.
I love it. I don't have a lot to talk about. All I've got to say is this. Listen, if the turkeys are just making you plumb mad, or you get lucky enough and you get one, go fishing. It's a great time. All you need is a little old, just any old pole. I prefer spinning reel or bait caster, but to each their own. And all you need is just some good old 12 to 15 pound test line, 10-pound test, whatever. It could be Eagle Claw from Walmart, or it could be some fluorocarbon, fancy jancy stuff, whatever you want. And me, if I'm just fishing any old pond, I just like a 3 or 4 offset worm hook. Put me a Strike King, what's called a shimmy stick. It's just a plastic worm. I think it's called baby shad or something shad color. Or you can use the old faithfuls, Zoom black lizard, white pearl, fluke. You can use, big man or big red jelly worm, whatever that's called. I mean, dude, there's all the classics, right? And just go out there, sling that puppy out, pop it a few times, maybe even throw on a whopper plopper for some top action, put on a spinning reel, anything that kind of this time of year, kind of late spring or early summer. To me, it's just killer jigs too, man. I love a football jig, especially, dude. If you can find a point, and you about 17 to 22 foot deep, if you're on a lake, whatever, and you just pop that jig. Oh my goodness, I love black and blue with a black and blue split tail trailer, a little action. That's what I like.
Well, I'll tell you this: you can fish all day long on my boat, and I will be your captain. And while you're fishing, I'm gonna lay in the back and probably take a nap.
Hey, there ain't nothing wrong with that. And I tell you what else we can do is throw out some jugs.
Yeah,
I'd rather.
I'll get into jugging. I'll get into jugging and crappie fishing. Now, you sign me up for that any day of the week.
Dude, I love crappie fishing.
Mm-hmm.
I got a buddy of mine. I won't say his name because I don't know if he wants me to, but he knows who he is. And I've got to get you down there. He has the live scope, and I fished on that for the first time last year.
Mm-hmm.
And for those of you who don't know what that is, it's in basic terms, it's just an underwater camera. And dude, it should almost be illegal, but it's super cool, and I don't care, and I like it, and it is legal, so I do it.
Yeah.
And there is so he knows where to go,
Mm-hmm.
and you get on the brush piles and all that. He drops that thing in there, and you literally just see the fish, and then you drop your jig or your whatever you like to fish with, and you see your bait, and then you see the fish eat the bait. It's so cool.
That is
it's
cool,
pretty
man.
fun stuff.
I think that is pretty cool. My thing is
man.
fly fishing and saltwater. Those are my two things. We'll get into that later though, because I want to talk about saltwater fishing and fly fishing, and let's have us a whole episode on fishing here soon. But I agree with you. It's a good time. You kill a turkey right now is the time to do it. It ain't so blistering hot it's miserable. You can go out,
Exactly.
have fun, take your kids, take your wife, take everybody with you. And it's just another way to enjoy God's great outdoors.
Just another way to do it.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
Yeah. But that's all I've got.
Well, I'm allowed to sign off this time, guys. Thank you once again for tuning in. Listen, if you want anything Rooted Television, Rooted Podcast, merch-wise, hats, shirts, hoodies, all the swag, go to our website at rootedtelevision.com. And if you're feeling frisky and want to support this channel and keep us up and going on everything we do, tap the link in the description and it'll give you the directions from there. But we sure do appreciate all of you. With that being said, the redneck is out.
See y'all.
For all things Rooted Podcast and Rooted Television, and I mean hats, shirts, hoodies, and other merch, check out our friends at CH Lone Star Pro and the link that is in our description.